Professors, Ministry of Magic workers, Quidditch players, and healers. Those are the only jobs that you can have after Hogwarts, right? No, wrong. In this video, we are going to talk about the other jobs that witches and wizards can have after Hogwarts. As I was saying, there are many different jobs that witches and wizards can have after Hogwarts. The problem is we only ever got to see the story from Harry's perspective, so we didn't get an in-depth look at the different jobs that is available for witches and wizards after Hogwarts. Thankfully, with the new Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them series, we're getting to see more of the wizarding world from an adult perspective, but there are still many different jobs that a lot of people just aren't aware of, so I figured I'd bring light to them in this video. So number one, the retail and customer service industry, because no world is complete without those that service the customers. Service. You have to have people running the stores and restaurants and bars, in addition to cashiers and waitresses, waiters, bartenders, barkeeps, etc. Gotta have retail. Now, that is completely different from number two, which is product design and production. Now, Fred and George Weasley, they're able to do both, but not everyone is that talented. There's some people that need to focus more on the production side of things. Like there's multiple businesses whose whole job it is to create racing brooms. Like think about it. There's the Comet series, and then there's the Nimbus series, there's the Firebolt series. Like all of them are created by different companies who all have to have production. They have to have people in charge of the spells and the actual physical building. There's people in charge of physically making the objects, and then there's got to be other people that are in charge of doing the potions and the spells capable of causing the magic in these things. Like brooms, they're not just going to be a chunk of wood that flies. No, there has to be people figuring out the aerodynamics, the spells, how to make them most comfortable, how to make them move to the touch of the writer. All of that is under production design. Also, wizarding radios and other just magical tech they come up with has to have someone producing it, creating it, figuring out how to make it work, how to make it functional in addition to being aesthetically pleasing. Because as we all know, wizards are very much into aesthetics. Because why write with a pen when you can write with a self-inking quill? Which again, production design. 3, writing and editing. I mean, yeah, there's magazines and newspapers, but remember, there's also countless books. And in order for those to be a thing, you have to have publishing houses. And in publishing houses, you have to have all of the different editors and then, of course, people writing the books. Then there's those actually making the books, producing them. All of this, there's gotta be someone doing it. 4, Potioneers. Not everyone is good at making potions. Look at Neville Longbottom. However, if you got the common cold, you kind of want to drink a potion in order to get cured. But what if you can't make the potion yourself? Even if you took potion classes, you can't necessarily make it yourself. Well, you gotta buy it. And in order to buy it, it has to be made. And so I'm sure there's people whose whole job it is to make potions specifically to give to apothecaries to sell to people, or make to give to St. Mungo's and other hospitals, or I'm sure there's stores specifically for selling potions, other than ones that sell also the supplies. And then there's of course the Potioneers that are developing new recipes or building on old recipes, making them better, making less side effects, making it easier to make. There has to be people whose whole job it is to do that. 5, Magi Zoology. Now, of course, everyone's favorite Magi Zoologist, Newt Scamander, is very well known. He made Fantastic Beasts and Where to Find Them. However, another Magi Zoologist that you don't think of as a Magi Zoologist, but you have heard of countless times, is Charlie Weasley. I mean, think about it. He works with dragons. He is a Magi Zoologist whose focus is dragons. I'm sure that there's countless other magical species that have people working with them, taking care of them, making sure that they don't hurt muggles, as well as other witches and wizards, and helping keep the Institute of Secrecy. I totally said that wrong, but I'm not thinking about that right now. Point being, they gotta keep it secret from the muggles, and there has to be people specifically focused on that. Like, I'm sure that there's an area specifically for hippogriffs, and an area specifically for manticores. Like, it can't just be, oh, only dragons. Like, and all of those would be Magi Zoologists. 6. The creative field. So, musicians and artists. Yeah, I'm putting it separate than writers. I'm putting those two together because I don't really know the details of how the Wizarding World handles them, because Harry doesn't really talk about it much, and they're not really focusing on it in Fantastic Beasts. But I know that those are things, because, Celestina Warbeck and the Weird Sisters cannot be the only musicians in the Wizarding World. There's gotta be others. And then, of course, they have to have their roadies. And then same with artists. They probably have painters and sculptors and all of that. And they probably have specialized magic that they have to learn in order to be that. And I'm sure that they take on interns and all of that. Like, let's be honest, Dean Thomas probably became a magical painter of some kind. But yeah, as an artist, I had to mention them. Plus, it is a job. 7. Herbologists/farmers. With the amount of witches and wizards that need wands and brooms, they have to have trees, especially wand trees. It requires special magical versions of those trees. And so they have wand farms. It was actually touched on in one of the Harry Potter games that they have wandwood farms. And so they have to have the farmers tending to those. And then in addition to that, there's also, how do the apothecaries get their supplies? By people growing the things that they need. They grow the herbs, they grow the flowers, they grow the plants, they grow all of that is needed to give to the apothecaries and to the schools and to the hospitals and to the ministry and all of that, for their supplies, for their potions, for other magical doodads or whatever. There has to be someone growing it. Number 8. Curse breakers. Come on. Bill Weasley. That's just one thing, okay? He was a curse breaker for Gringotts, specifically in Egypt. But think about it. How many ancient civilizations probably have curses on them? And then, in addition to that, even modern day witches and wizards place curses on things that need to get broken. Curse breakers. Number 9, translators. And I don't just mean, the languages that muggles know of. English, Spanish, Mandarin, French. There's gotta be people that know Mermish and Troll and gobbledygook, I think it was called. I don't remember. It's been a while. There's got to be people whose job it is specifically is to translate. Think about it. In our world, translators, that is a full-time job. There has to be people in the Wizarding World whose job it is as well to be a full-time translator between witches and wizards of other countries, in addition to other species. And number 10, tutors. Not every witch or wizard goes to a magical school. It has been stated multiple times, in fact, by the writer over the years, that not all witches and wizards in the United Kingdom go to Hogwarts when they're of school age. Some of them just stay home and are tutored. And then, of course, before they even go to Hogwarts, how are they going to learn? Yeah, some go to public school. And I don't just mean Muggleborns. Some that are born of wizards go to just Muggle school to learn reading, writing, arithmetic, all of that. What about those that don't go to Muggle school? Well, some of them are homeschooled by their parents. And then others have tutors come in specifically to teach them that. So yeah, there's tutors. Tutors that teach magic to higher level students. Tutors that teach the basics that even Muggles have to learn in lower levels. Tutors. You gotta learn. And in addition to that, there's gotta be the instructors for St. Mungo's healers. There's gotta be the instructors for Aurors. And I'm sure that there's coaches that work with the different Quidditch players. There's people whose whole job it is to instruct that aren't even Hogwarts professors. But yeah, those are basically, it's more than just 10, let's be fair, but basically 10 jobs that you can have after Hogwarts outside of the usual thought jobs. Let me know if y'all can think of any that I have not mentioned. I'm sure that there are countless that I have not. Those are the ones that I was able to think of so far. If I have enough, maybe I'll make another video. Anyway, as I said, let me know. So yeah, let me know if there's any that I have not mentioned. I'm sure that there's plenty. In fact, if there's enough that are mentioned that I have not brought up in this video, I might even make another one. Anyway, thank you guys for watching. Please like this video if you liked it and subscribe to see more. And I hope to see you guys in my next video. Bye! Click.